Hello, everyone, and welcome to MyTube. It's not YouTube, it's not their tube, it's MyTube, the show where I talk into this microphone right here you see, and I talk about my life experiences and share my life stories. Usually, I talk about people in my life. My wife could be included, my brothers, my sisters, my parents, people I know personally, people I run into randomly, whatever the case is. If I have an issue with a store manager or the homeless guy that's always the park over here in the corner, then I will talk about it on this show. That's what this show is about. So thanks for clicking. And there's some things I wanted to talk about, and hopefully I get into all of it in today's video. I don't want to go more than 30 minutes or 35 minutes because I feel that's too much for my channel, and I feel like longer than it is past the 35-minute mark, um, the more less likely you all will watch. I think that's a turn off for most of you all. That's just what I believe. So I do good numbers, but I like to get bigger numbers in the future perhaps. But thanks for those who do watch every single Monday. Um, I'm probably wrong on this one. Is this episode 14 or 15? I'm not sure. I had to look it up. Um, but nonetheless, thank you for watching this if you've been watching it since night one. Every single Monday, I've been doing this for the past several weeks since late last year. And thank you for always watching for those of you who have been watching since then. Okay, now let's dig right into it. I have issues when it comes to producing these videos because of my camera. My Kodiak camera has, I won't I don't want to say failed on me, but it's done me wrong on two broadcasts of this episode. Um, First of all, the first time was a number of weeks ago, um, when it basically quit recording on me because you see what my camera does is if it records 20 minutes, when you go to the 20-minute mark, it'll stop recording without notifying you, without anything that indicates to let you know, hey, stop blabbing, stop talking, I stopped recording. Why? Just because it got to 20 minutes. When it gets to the 20-minute mark, it'll stop recording. It won't shine a light or anything. It won't turn. It won't let you know. You'll sit here ranting on and on, believing that it's still capturing your face, and it's not. Okay, so but thankfully enough, I had my audio recorded separately, individually, here on my microphone, so you at least got that, right? So this I'm starting this video by cutting a promo on my camera, right? Why does it do that? Why was it programmed that way? I don't know. I know some of you all might be thinking, well, geez, dude, maybe you're out of memory. No. I check the memory is as I recorded this. is 35 minutes. I got 35 minutes of rant. But for some reason, when it hits the 20-minute mark, it definitely stops recording. The lens won't close, so I'm I'm left to think that I'm still recording. So now I gotta worry as I do these shows and look at the audio recording over here so I can see that I've been ranting for 5 minutes and 36 seconds. So I can know, okay, it's time to like wrap up my point here because the camera's gonna cut it and then I'm gonna have to press the record button all over again for the next few minutes. That's annoying, it's frustrating because it's distracting because I have to have that constantly remembered in the back of my mind somewhere as I'm trying to have whatever conversation, whatever rant I'm trying to, explain myself a point or whatever it is. Whether it's cutting a promo on my brother or, explaining to you an idea for a video I have coming up soon. Whatever the case is, that's always gotta be in the back of the mind. Now, the second time my camera stopped recording on me, and it once again, I don't want to say it failed on me, but it let me down. The second time it let me down was on last week's programming, if you remember. So I'm recording, and this time the issue was I did run out of memory. Okay, that's me to blame. But again, the camera does not notify me, doesn't have an alert sound. It doesn't have a blink right in front where I can see it. It does not close the lens. It does nothing to notify me that it stopped recording. So again, I'm ranting and ranting and ranting and ranting, and it's not letting me know, hey dude, shut up. This camera it's about to stop recording. No, it doesn't alert me ahead of time so I can prepare for it first of all, and it lets me down without notifying me, and that's where I have the issue. But other than that, I love this camera. If you recall seeing on my channel last year in July of 2018, that's when I bought this Kodiak camera at our local Walmart, and I love it. It's good, other than those two things that it kind of makes me, it's just frustrating, and it's just, I rather it work differently than that, and it let me down, and I end up feeling unprofessional when I have to come to find out after all that it didn't continue recording, and all you see is the image of my face with the audio laid out over it. I don't like doing business like that, and my videos like that just does not look professional in my opinion. And another issue I have is I spoke to recently somebody, and that's not the first person that tells me this. I heard this expression among people, and it doesn't matter who said it to me. Recently, that's irrelevant. Um, but I have a difference in opinion, and to me, what they said is said without any knowledge. Because what I'm talking about is when people say, well, yeah, if you see a homeless in the street, why not give them $1? Why not give them $5, $20, whatever, um, a drink, some food, a jacket, a sweater, because you never know. You could be homeless tomorrow. First of all, that saying of you never know you can be homeless tomorrow, it's a stupid saying. Let's be honest, because let's break down the saying, okay? I mean, I understand what you're trying to say, but let's break down the phrase, you never know you can be homeless tomorrow. Okay, first of all, what would happen for me to become homeless tomorrow? Because even if I lose my job tomorrow, that won't make me homeless tomorrow. Because I still have money saved to pay the rent. And first of all, that even if I didn't have the money, let's start from here. Becoming homeless tomorrow, it's not possible even if I lose my job tomorrow, because the rent isn't due tomorrow, so I am still guaranteed to live here and have a home tomorrow, whether I have the money to pay the rent or not in a future date. But that means even if I lose my job tomorrow, I'm not homeless tomorrow. I'm not gonna suddenly, like even you all watching this, you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and be homeless overnight. That doesn't happen. I understand the point of the phrase that you can become homeless pretty darn soon, but not tomorrow. You're not gonna wake up and suddenly not have a place to live. I mean, that stuff doesn't happen like that quickly. If, in order for me to become homeless, even if I do lose my job tomorrow, I still have a home tomorrow because the rent is not due till the last days of the month and the month just started. So let's say I did lose my job tomorrow, okay? First of all, that's not possible because my um tomorrow is my night off. I'm taping this on Sunday. Tomorrow is my night off, being Monday. So it won't happen. I can't get fired on the night I'm off because I can't go to work and screw up when I'm having the night off. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but forget about that. Never mind that. That's not even important to my point I'm trying to get across. My point is, even if I lose my job tomorrow, I'm not gonna wake up and be homeless the next day. It'll happen if I don't have that money saved up by the time rent is due. But even if I lost my job tomorrow, I have the money coming in that's I'm already gonna get paid that I worked the last 2 weeks, and I can use that money to pay the rent. So even with if I lose my job tomorrow, I have the money already worked where I can pay the upcoming month's rent and not be homeless for at least another 30 days. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people it would on that are living the life the same way I do. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to do the same thing. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to have the money to not be homeless overnight. That stuff doesn't happen overnight. That's just idiotic to think that from one day to the next you become homeless. I mean, even if you lose your job the day before rent is due, you're still not gonna be homeless because you just lost a job a day ago. Pretty sure you just worked the days prior and you have a check coming in a day or two, and with that you can pay the rent even if it's 2 or 3 days delayed. So that phrase to me, I'm pretty sure it's fractional. It's just idiotic. It's stupid to say because you're just you're spewing things and phrases out of your mouth without any educational value to it, without any knowledge or thought into it. So no one could become homeless tomorrow. Why? Because even if this whole apartment complex burns to the ground tomorrow and I'm suddenly homeless, I have money where I can go find another place to rent, so I wouldn't be homeless even in that scenario, or I'll have the money to go put us up to live in a motel or something. So even in those scenarios, I wouldn't be homeless. It would take a lot things and different scenarios to make anybody homeless. But I guarantee you, it won't happen by tomorrow. So don't worry, you're not gonna be homeless tomorrow. I'm not gonna be homeless by tomorrow. It just won't happen. That phrase, it's idiotic because, as I said, and I will continue to say it, I will back up my belief that even if I lose my job tomorrow, which I doubt it, but let's say for argument's sakes that I do, I have money saved, and I have a check coming in this week actually, so I can still use that money to pay rent. Not only that, but um, I just worked the past couple of days, and that money is still due to me in another 2 weeks. So that's why there's that phrase is even more dumb. And whoever keeps saying that and believes that, you're imbecile. Because that's not possible. So no one's gonna become homeless overnight. At least not anyone that works for their lives. Now, if you say Juanito over there, that's, you know, 28, 29 years old, same age I am, 29, and he's living in the basement of his parents. He's unemployed. He doesn't have a job. He has no money saved up, and he's suddenly both his parents, boom, they get in a car accident, they die, or whatever the case is, and maybe he could become homeless because who will he live with now? Who will support him? But even then, he wouldn't be homeless the day after his parents died because the house would still be there, their home would still be there. So even in that scenario, he won't be homeless overnight. I mean, he's in trouble being homeless in the next 30 days, possibly, but not overnight, not from one day to the next, is my point. That's just idiotic statement if you talk to me, and that's how I feel about that. So if you're gonna talk stupid, I'm gonna make you sound stupid because you are stupid, and I'm gonna cut a promo on you on this show. Now let's move on in conversation. In case you've been wondering the past week, last week's show I mentioned my ear issues. So I'm here to tell you all and update you that my ear is indeed better. It doesn't hurt. I'm in no ear pain whatsoever anymore. And I can hear normally like I normally did, which is still not hearing perfectly, but in comparisons to a week ago, I do feel normal as far as my hearing goes, and it doesn't hurt anymore, and I'm feeling a lot better about that situation. So that's a positive. For those wondering, um, my daughter is okay. She's great. She's not sick. She's all right. She's continues to grow more and more every day, and she continues to look more and more like a big girl. Even though she's only a little over a year, she's gonna be an year and 3 months in a couple of days. I'm very proud of her, and I just I love her very much, of course, and I'm so happy to be her dad. I'm so happy that I'm a dad at all. Um, so she's okay. Just let you all know. Um, no, she wasn't sick last week. I'm just saying that she's she's good. For those wondering, my wife is good. She's not sick. Oh, by the way, she got her glasses finally arrived in the mail, and this time, the second attempt, the company, what was it, USA Glasses or Glasses USA, whatever the name was, doesn't matter. It's a non-sponsor, anyways. Um, Finally got the glasses and the right ones this time. She gave them a second chance and they delivered. I still believe they should have gotten it right the first time around. That's just my opinion. Um, but still, my point is, the wife's okay. I'm okay. Baby is okay. And we're all good. Now, I'm just gonna start talking about random stuff because I just feel like I owe you all a little bit more before I conclude this because I feel like it wasn't enough thus far. Um, so there's just a lot that goes through my mind throughout the week, especially when I'm at work and there's pretty much nothing going on. It's just a dead night. Um, and all these things start popping into my mind. Sometimes it's whether it's ideas that I want to do for my channel, or ideas for a specific story that I'm working on, or specific script that I'm working on for YouTube here on my channel, or just random stuff about what I think about certain things in life, and why certain things work the way they do in life, like the need for a government and how it exists, and how the only reason it's intact is because a long time ago some they agreed to give that group known as the government the power and allowed them to basically control them, and that's why we have that today. And these thoughts just pop into my mind randomly, my opinions and my thoughts on certain things that I would never really talk about. And now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm not much of a conversationist. I never have been. I have a lot of social issues, whether it's social anxiety, when it comes to talking to strangers and new faces that I'm not familiar with, or whether it's having very little social skills. But I'm thinking about it and it's dawning on me that that's pretty much why I enjoy doing this. This is why I enjoy doing this. Me with a camera talking face to camera, and this is basically the same reason I enjoyed writing. It's basically all comes down to those two things allow me to express my thoughts and express myself, which is basically the point, why I enjoy it. Like I said, throughout the week, I'm always constantly thinking um, random thoughts, or I even go as far as to think about moments of my past, and I'm like, should I talk about those moments in this Monday's video on MyTube, or should I leave that out? And it's always like, well, I don't want to talk about the past too much because I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm still like thinking about stuff in the past instead of moving forward and moving on. And that's why I avoid talking about it. Not that there's anything really bad, it's just, to me, it's not important. Nothing in my past really happened that's too important worth talking about, and it might not be interesting for you all, but yet alone it might be your opinion that it is interesting. And but if I'm not talking about it with interest, it's gonna come across as uninteresting to you also. I'm always battling that. And also because I don't want to talk and rant too much about stuff that happened way years and years ago, but they still pop into my mind once in a blue moon, and I'm like, and I think about it for a minute and I find myself thinking to myself, why am I thinking about this? Why am I thinking about this? I mean, I can care less about it today. It does not bother me, but it's in my mind. Why? And it comes back down to my mind just goes anywhere. My mind literally just goes anywhere with it. Um, it just does. I don't know why, but it does, and that's something interesting. I want to let you all know that happens in my brain here from time to time throughout the whole week. And right now, I'm going through stuff where I'm trying to focus on writing this or that, or whether it's a story I just want to write or it's a script that I want to write to turn into a short horror film for my channel, or a video series, or whatever the case is. There's so many things I want to write that I, I start writing one thing and have a lot of good ideas for it, but then I'm thinking about some other ideas and I'm like, oh, here's another idea, and I start that, and now I want to write 3 or 4, and I go between this story and then I go add something to this story, and I'm back and forth and back and forth, and nothing ever gets done. It's just a madness. It's just that process is obviously not working for me because nothing is getting complete. But there's so many ideas floating in and out of my head that I can't help it. And yes, there's some bad ideas, but I know how to separate. I believe I know how to separate bad and good ideas. But hopefully, the good ideas stay in me. And naturally, I think, in my opinion, with all creative individuals, bad ideas leave you right away, but the good ideas stick around in your mind, and they stay with you until you work on it and you get it done, and then you feel better about it because you actually made it happen. Or and that's how you know it's a good idea, because it won't leave your mind, because you know it's that good. When it's a bad idea, you'll forget about it. And why? Because bad ideas are usually forgetful. You don't feel about it as strong as you would with a good idea. But that's the issue I'm having these days, is that I have so many ideas for so many different stories or scripts for me to write and work on, that I just can't do them all at once. So I'm constantly jumping from, I'll work on one story for 2 days or a day, and then I'll start working on another 3 days later, and I'll work on it for a week, and then I'll go to another one and go back and forward, or start a new one from scratch, and just so many stuff that I want to work on, but I have not given my undivided attention to just one, and that's slowing down the process. So I want to avoid that. How do I avoid that? I currently don't know. I'm not an expert in this, but being creative is what I wanted. It's what I enjoy doing. It's what I love. And being a writer, or writing as a hobby, which is what it is. I'm not a professional writer, but I'm still a writer, because if you write, you're a writer. Um, Being a writer, to be creative, um, it's what I enjoy doing, so which is why I do it. But I know that I gotta focus on one project at a time and stick with it and give my focus on it, and maybe I'll get it done quicker, where I can move on to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and that's how I'll get things done quicker and actually accomplish my goals of finishing all the project stories that I want to finish, rather than just jumping between one and another, which is completely not working at all. Just thought I'd share that with you. Anyways, I think that's all for this week's show. Thanks for watching. Um, be sure to share with your friends if you can. Thank you very much. Take care. Have yourself a great night, and I'll see you guys pretty darn soon. Good night.